Hey everybody, it's Seriously Sydney, and today I am bringing you an intermediate gouache tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be using the HIMI or HIMI jelly gouache, and I am not exactly showing the gouache on here. It didn't fully fit on screen, so I am just showing you guys my mixing area, and I will try and go over all the colors I end up using. So this first mix you're seeing is a little bit of, I believe, lemon yellow and mixing white. And then this darker mix right here is some rose, some deep red, and the mixing white. And then this sketch should be from my previous video, or it is from the video on how to use watercolor pencils. There we go. To how to draw a magnolia flower in with watercolor pencils, or using watercolor pencils. Okay, so my main strategy is working from light to dark, and I start with the flowers because I want the value of the flowers to be correct, and then what I end up doing is then working on the branch. Also, I had a little bit of indecision. I could not choose which green or brown I wanted to use, so I ended up doing that last and making sure the flower looked right. Then when I painted the branch, I would make the branch look right with the flower instead of making the flower look right with the branch, because I wanted the flower to be the focal piece. Another thing I want to mention before I forget is that the background that you guys saw at the beginning, I did not end up getting footage of that part. So what it is I use the sky or Ariel blue, sky blue. It's like the sky blue color in this set. So I used that, and I did the first half of the painting, so I tried to make it, like if you think of a painting in the rule of thirds, I tried to make about 1/3 of it the sky blue color, and then the 1/3 of it the white of the paper, which is currently covered by the tape, so it's a little bit less than 1/3, but the general idea was the rule of thirds. And then the rest of the painting is this emerald green color mixed with a little bit of the mixing white and some red to tone it down. So that's the background that you see in the beginning, and then it's outlined with a little bit of the black. This mixture right here was kind of a mess up, I think. So I ended up using what looks like burnt sienna, but I believe they call it ochre. And I made it way too dark, so I used a lot of white to try and tone that back. Well, white. I used white and the lemon yellow to tone it back. And that is the base color again, so I used a lot of that, or way too much of that burnt sienna color. But I end up making it work. So it did help to give me a slightly different tone, the burnt sienna mix, because it helped to differentiate the different petals, and it actually ended up serving as a little bit of a shadow for the lighter parts of the petal that were still in shadow. And right here I am painting in the extra little blossoms and stuff. And right now I am adding some details, or shadows, however you want to see it. kind of trying to define the edge, and then I went a little bit darker, and then so what I would do, what I am going to end up doing, is lightening it up a little bit, so with the layers and all, it kind of blends a little bit, and as the paints blend, it creates a new tone on the paper. So it's a little bit different than if I had just built it up straight from lightest to darkest. This way it's a little bit different, and I kind of like the uniqueness of it, because it's fairly difficult, I find anyway, to repeat that exact tone. But yeah, right here I'm adding a little bit of highlight. So the highlight color I used was a little bit of a heavier yellow than white mixture. And so it seems a little bit yellow in person. On camera it kind of picks it up, but only slightly. And then right here I ended up using a little tiny bit of purple. Don't remember why. Maybe to get the darkest darks or whatever. So it's their violet color. Their color looks more like a... I guess it could be violet. But yeah, so the flower or the that I was kind of loosely basing this off of had a little bit of a purple tone in certain areas. And here you can see me mixing that yellow highlight color that I mentioned. And I'm going in and painting those blossoms, or magnolia buds I should say. Yep, just going in and sharpening up the very ends of the petals and just kind of trying to bring in the details of the flower, make sure the flower was in focus. That was a very big priority here. Wanted that main flower to be the main focus and the others to kind of blend into the back a little bit. And then the brushes I'm using some Taklon brushes, just two small, maybe like a number 4 and a number 2. Oops. Let me see if I can find them. So, yes, this is a 2/0 pointer. And what's the other one? The other one is a number 3. So a 3 and 2/0. So that's the number 3 round and 2/0 pointer brush. Or spot brush. Spot brush. I think it's spot. Anyway, so I'm just going in, and then right here you can see I take that highlight color and I make that the base of the branch. And I do that because I want to include some of the colors from the flower into the branch, so it kind of creates a little bit of harmony. And then the colors I end up using, I believe I end up using some like of their burnt umber, which I believe they call brown, and then I end up using some of the mixture that's been on my palette from before right here, and that is some of the emerald green plus the deep red and maybe a little bit of the rose. I don't know, it's just some mixture from a previous painting. But I end up using that in this piece, and I end up using that emerald green color for part of the background, so it kind of flows together still. But you guys have pretty much made it to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you made it this far, comment background in the comments section to let me know. If you guys liked this type of video and want to see more like this, Don't forget to like, comment, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching, and bye.